Hey YouTube, the Hyena here again with another great educational video on Audiotool. Previously I showed you how to use the Machiniste, but I only showed you the very basics of it. So today I'm going to show you more advanced techniques that you can use to up the level of customization that you can control using the Machiniste. So last time I showed you the basics of this Audiotool layout, all of this stuff up here, and this up over here, these tabs here. Showed you the very basics of it. Today we're going to go over a little bit more advanced stuff with the Machiniste, and then we're going to follow that up with how to use this bottom bar down here. So last time I just showed you the very basics of queuing up a sample. Now I'm going to show you some modulation techniques that you can use while throwing these samples around. I'm just going to pick a random sample here, and while it's loading, I want you to notice that modulation percentage. I'm going to turn that up to 100. Now I'm going to play this little sample here so you can hear what it sounds like without anything changed. So that's the unedited effect. So now with this at modulation 100%, we're going to make a pattern 2. We're going to have that at modulation 50% for comparison. And then we're going to have one at modulation 0%. And you see how I did that by dragging up for a higher modulation or down for a lower modulation. And to change the modulation, you don't need to put a new one in and hold and bring it up. You could just click it, make the thing. I stopped clicking. Now I click and hold and drag it up or down to change the modulation, or you can just click and hold and then make it and change the modulation, the same thing. So here we got pattern 1 is 100%, pattern 2 is 50%, pattern 3 is 0% modulation. So one more time. That's what it sounds like. Now I'm going to use this pitch. We're going to give it plus 1.14 octaves. 100% modulation. Big difference. 50% modulation. Not a hugely noticeable difference between the 100% modulation, 0% modulation. Not a whole lot of difference. So we're going to put that pitch level back to about 0-ish. Here's the pitch modulation is what that is. We're going to put it at 41%. 100% modulation. %50 modulation. %0 modulation. Just like it normally was. So as you can see, these top ones aren't affected by modulation. These bottom ones that say the effect and then mod, which of course stands for modulation, are affected by the level of modulation. So we're just going to throw all these in here. It's probably going to sound terrible and insane, but it'll be a really good show of modulation. 100%. %50. And lastly, 0%, which should be the same as the original. And it is. Perfect. So as you can see, these mods change a little bit. It gives you just... I've never really gotten any good use out of it, but I mean, if you... I don't know. If you play around with it enough, I'm sure you come across some kind of use for it. I'm not sure yet, though. The other thing I'm going to show you today is this little bar at the bottom here. Let me pull this up a little bit, expand it out, and you'll see that it's got bars and meters and this thing here. This thing here, what it is is it is the loop part of the song, or it is the part that's going to play over and over again here. And this, we can zoom. This is this right here is how much of the song you're looking at. That white bar is where you are in the song as far as playing time. And the two blue bars that you see there and there are the starting and end of the part that you are looping, you know, at the time. Zoom all the way out and you'll see that there's this gray bar way over here. That is where the song itself actually ends. So if you have a song, let's say your song is 17 bars long, but this gray thing is way out at like 90 bars, you're going to want to, before you publish it, drag that back to wherever your song ends. Say the song is 17 bars long, drag it back to 17, so you don't have 4 minutes of empty space at the end of your song. Now, the other way to trigger samples here is just to take them, completely ignore the Machiniste, and just place them into open space, and they will plug straight in to where your master output is. Now, you don't need, if you're not triggering more than one sample at once, you don't need more than one of those little boxes. You can put as many of those boxes out as you want, but that just complicates the wiring. And we're going to go into wiring later, but I don't want to go into that now. So you can just drop it, as long as you're not running it at the same time, you can just drop it right in there, and it'll put it together using this one output. I'm going to expand. First I'll show you this loop part. When this blue part, when it reaches the end, it's going to go back to the start of the blue part. So you saw what it just did there. As soon as it touches that blue thing, it goes to that blue thing. It's just this part is basically when you're editing at the moment, what you want to zoom in on or zone in on, and take a ton of time to edit. But if you want to hear the whole thing, just pull it out there, and now you're going to hear how these two samples connect with just this one box. Watch these sound levels here, is what those are. Just go up and down, and then they switch straight to the second sample. Just watch. Watch it again. It just goes ahead and switches for you. You don't need more than one of those little boxes to do more than one sample. And just so you know, balance right here, pan left, pan right, mute if you want to, and gain. Just put it however loud you want to. And that's basically all you really need to know about this here function. Yeah, that's it. You guys are the best. Thank you. Hope you enjoyed watching. Come back for more.